morning, South Florida, and welcome to the breakfast at the Brooklyn Cafe TV.
Take a deep breath and a good whiff of that coffee brewing. Grab yourself some toast, a donut, or any breakfast as Dawn and Freddie get you up and ready for the rest of the day.
So call in at 888-565-1470 to share a tip of the day.
Or just to say good morning. Shake off your sleepies, buckle in, cause it's showtime!
Welcome to the breakfast with the Morning Brew crew. I got some exciting news, but before we do, did you see the circus came to town again yesterday?
No, I was working.
The Republican Party, the Republican convention started, and they came out shooting bullets. You know, I just got to say one thing. The President Trump, what? President Trump spends a lot of money building walls to separate us from all of them bad people south of the border. I love it. And then on Sunday, they discovered the largest tunnel created in the history of mankind from Tijuana up to California. Did you see this? Nope. So while he's building walls, they're building tunnels. Isn't that amazing? I just found that so humorous.
Well, it's like putting people in prison and they escape. Same difference.
No, I mean, he's building walls to keep the bad element out, so they're going underground.
It's the same difference. People find a way. Look at all the tunnels. The fact that they didn't realize it was going to happen is a whole nother story.
Yeah, but how many tunnels have they discovered? They're in the tunneling business.
Discovered is the whole other thing.
I just found a humor.
Discovered is a whole nother thing.
You didn't think that was a funny joke? I thought that bit was funny.
Why?
Because they built walls, and they built tunnels, and we built walls.
I just feel like we were remiss in not realizing other people have intelligence.
Intelligence. You know, it's really funny because the more we try
Because there's always a way. There's always a way around. There is always a workaround. Just saying.
The more we try to kill the roach on the planet, the more the roach grows.
The more you feed it.
Yes. All right, listen.
That's a metaphor for so many things right now.
What, a roach?
Feeding the roach.
Feeding the roach.
Feeding the roach. There's so many places I could go with that, but I won't because it's our Morning Brew crew and it'll just make me cry. So we're going to keep rocking and rolling. We have a special guest joining us today.
So you feed the roach and you cry. Yes, we do.
We actually have two.
Oh, we have two special guests.
We have two special guests. We have Taylor, who joined us again for 2 days in a row, so that is so bell-worthy because she has never been in an internship quite like this before.
I know. Where's Teddy? I want you out here. We got a special guest, and I want to go to
we
quad
have our
or
executive
whatever.
producer is on the line. I guess he is.
Did you say
hanging
good
out at
morning
home
to
today.
Vinny?
I'm going to say good morning to Vinny.
Well, he's waving over there.
Good morning, Vinny. How
You
you
notice
doing?
you're the male.
Well, here's what I
The
noticed.
female gets the
intro.
intro. I know, they don't have any mics. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to pick up your
Taylor.
mics. I want you to sit down here because we got a special guest for you.
I'm not throwing it, so you might have to get up and get it. There you go. Good morning, Teddy.
Good morning.
Teddy always has a mask that matches her outfits.
Do you
I
do
know,
that
it's
on
pretty
purpose?
impressive.
It's whatever's clean.
It's whatever. I've got one. I'm waiting to get more. It's the only one that fits my face. I'm trying to get more. It's just not an easy task.
Extra small. All right, so who else are we? What's your second surprise?
Giovanni.
Yes, Gio is on the line. They send him home today from work.
Is he always happy?
No, he's miserable.
I know.
Yes.
Yes, I
always
think he is
happy.
always. Holy smoke! Look at that setup you got going on there, Teddy. Can you don't see?
I can't see it. I imagine it's very techy.
He's got a mic as big as me, coming from the ceiling or from somewhere.
It's pretty big.
He has it on an arm.
And he's got like
Yeah,
an arm
it's
radio
clamped
mic,
to
and
my
then he's got
desk.
his headphones.
And then he has, how many screens you got? 3 or 4?
2.
What happened to, no, you had
Just
2
2
more?
screens.
Oh, yes, that was
No.
So
I've
what's
only
going
had
on with
2.
you, Mr. Giovanni?
I'm in quarantine. I have allergies. I'm not sick. I also have a toddler son. So I'm working from home today, and during my lunch break, which I'm taking at 9 a.m. today, I'm going to be on your show.
Lunch is now at 9 a.m.
So why did they quarantine you if you're not sick?
You sound sick.
Because I coughed, and that makes people uncomfortable.
I know. We have a cough pad in here. When somebody coughs in here, we smack them with all sorts of enzymes.
They sneeze, we scream, go wash your hands. Spray the area around your face.
We quarantine the room that the person sneezes in.
How is that toddler son of yours?
He's doing good. He is sick. He has a little cold, that he gets from daycare, but and I always get them anytime he gets sick. I always bring them home.
Now I wanted to ask you,
But,
they never closed down his daycare throughout this whole thing?
No, daycares are essential. A lot of hospital workers rely on someone watching their kid. So, no, the daycares, as long as they are following certain guidelines, they are essential.
Did you know that? Daycares are open and schools are closed.
It's an interesting concept. But I don't know if daycares were open here. They may have been open in Tampa, but we're a whole nother different breed on this coast of Florida.
Are the daycares open
Well, I'm
here?
actually in Sarasota. So
You're
I'm
in
about an
Sarasota.
hour
Oh, I'm
south
sorry.
of
That
Tampa.
must be like west of California.
So you are right near
Manatee
our good
County.
friend Natalia. So he's
Manatee
really right
County
near
has
Natalia.
far fewer cases.
Yeah, he knows.
Then,
He's right in the background.
Hillsborough.
He's right in the same town as Natalia.
Have you been to Speaks Clam Bar?
No.
You gotta go. I got a special in for you there. She'll take very good care of you. She
That's in
actually
Tampa,
invited me
though,
to
isn't
come
it?
stay. Sarasota.
It's in
She's got the
Sarasota,
whole
I
guest
found.
room
That's in
set up
Sarasota?
for me.
Yeah, it's in Sarasota. She has actually 2 restaurants. One is in Sarasota. Where's the other one? In Tampa, no?
Bradenton.
It's right next door to you.
It's right next to each other, yeah.
She's got 2, and she's got 6 more that are coming. 4 more in the next 6 months.
Yeah, it's my fault because I was supposed to send
There's a
him the
food
address.
hall, and there's a couple others she's got coming out in the next 6 months. She set up the guest room for me last night, she told me. She said, it looks like the Mandarin Oriental. I should come stay.
You should.
I know.
And then you could do the show from over there.
Me and Gio can do it from over there. And
Oh,
you can go to
Gio's
the beach.
only when he's quarantined.
I'm not actually quarantined, but I'm working from home today,
Is your son home from
which is kind of
school
hard
too?
to do. No, he's going to daycare.
So
Well-
he can go to daycare and be sick, but you're quarantined home.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense, don't you think?
It's herd immunity. I mean, and they all get sick. It's a cold. It's not coronavirus.
It's a cold. Oh, did you see they came out today that there are perhaps various strains of the coronavirus?
I could have told you that in March.
Of
Oh, I
course.
told everybody that in November when I had it. Good morning, Slick.
What's the matter?
I didn't want to go back. Yeah, I'm going this way. I'm going left. I'm going left.
You going left? Oh, those are some nice shoes, Slick, you got going on.
Sick as old Pandora out. Okay, so so now that we have Gio on the line, there's a few things I guess that I wanted to cover with what
Are you
we
gonna have a
do.
meeting on air right now with Gio on the line?
No, not meeting, but some of the exciting things.
Yeah,
that
let's
we
have
been
a
talking-
staff meeting.
Let's have an online staff meeting. Absolutely, 100%.
Some of the ideas that we talked about doing. You know, it's funny. There have been things that you have in play right now that were talked about years ago.
This would be just like an office meeting of the TV office that we talked about. This would be like at the office meeting. This is our online staff meeting for everybody to watch and see.
Well, I want to congratulate Slick now that he's here because Slick actually did what I asked 8 people to do yesterday. He actually brought it forward.
Nice job, Slick.
You
What'd he
did the
do?
promo.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah, the one that I don't know if it was you because it
He
looked
he
it
says-
had your name on it.
Did you do
Was
it?
it you?
Yes.
I don't know if it was him. Was it him or no? Somebody else did it?
If my name was on it, it was me.
For
It
Slick
wasn't him.
Speaks.
Never mind, it wasn't him.
What?
But whoever did it, Slick,
Did you
using
do
your
it?
name, it was you? It came out really, really nice. And it was a nice little promo he put together about his show and about his guests. And it was well timed. I think it was only like a minute or 2, which is what we were talking about yesterday. And he actually got it done. I was shocked. I said, look at this. And he spells Slick S-L-I-C-C. See, he's Rican too.
He's just cool. He's just cool.
So we're talking about doing promos to try to get more activity, more call to action is what I'm thinking. Because the logistics on Facebook and everything else has changed once again. They're really, really down. Everything is down, which I think is political. Because they were accused of swaying political votes and all that, and they don't want to be in that position anymore. So everything is suppressed. Everything. And everybody's up in a panic. Oh, nobody's watching
I have
me.
a question, though, for our executive producer who happens to be in quarantine at the moment. By definition,
Not
what is a
quarantine.
production company? Not quarantine, I'm teasing you. He's on the line with us. What is a production company?
What is a production company?
Yes, because we were told yesterday that we're not really a full-service production company by one of our interns that is working for another production company. So we're wondering, What's the question? What is it? And your father looked it up and he said there's like a definition of what a production company is.
I mean, we're producing a show right now, so
We
I would
produce
think that we
shows,
fall
but,
into-
but is that production?
yes.
What about the?
Well, let me.
Thank you.
The
let
show
me-
doesn't
okay,
grow
let
on
me-
trees,
That's
guys.
what you
I
are.
mean,
Let me give you an example. Suppose your company wanted me to do a commercial, and they come here, we
We've
put the
done those.
commercial, and we come in here, we do a commercial for your company. I think that what she
Okay.
meant by it was that we don't do that kind of work, but we do that kind of work.
100%. She
We
just
do that all
doesn't
the
know 'cause
time.
she's not here for those hours.
Correct, and you have to participate in those hours to be part of that. Now, Taylor is being brought in to actually stronghold that position. She has no idea of what she's about to run
She's
into.
been here 2 days in a row, Gio. We're going to suck her in. Have her edit commercials, all kinds
sorry.
of good stuff. I'm sorry, he says.
But she went. We were a little confused because when you go to a company who does reality shows and they do commercials, and I guess they want me to come in and do commercials for them as well and voiceovers. Does a production company only do those type of works, or do they do production of? There's a word for it when you're on the air. What do you call it?
live production.
No, it's something else that they told me, which was I thought very clever. It's a clever play on words.
I don't know. You guys are in school. Is there a new terminology for what we do? They're
Not
shaking
that
their
I
head
know.
no.
I mean, the Google definition is a production company, production house, production studio, or production team is a business that provides the physical basis for works in the fields of performing arts, new media art, film, television, radio, comics, interactive arts, video games, websites, and video.
Pretty much what we do.
So performing arts then is the definition of production company. Interesting. Again, I'm just trying to clarify what the definition is of somebody else's thoughts because apparently we've been classified.
As a production company.
Yeah, but there was a word they used and I have a bad memory and I can't remember. We do the video portion of it. They think that because we're doing this, we don't do any production.
That's only because they leave it too.
Yeah. Okay.
And from 2 until I was up till midnight last night doing stuff is all I can tell you.
You were.
I'm glad, but you were able to watch 3 hours of TV, so I'm glad. that
Yeah,
you were
but
able
I
to
worked till
relax,
8
as Gio says. I'm
I
so
work, but I
glad.
work doing production till 8 o'clock.
I know.
Well, hello. You went home at 6, I think, right? So
What did I do at home?
with you, who knows?
Production. The other side of the production of what you do.
Anyway, so some of the
Well, there's
ideas.
post-production and there's
Thank you.
pre-production.
There you go.
What do you call pre-production?
Actually, I was doing pre-production, and you were doing getting guests, setting up,
Oh, yeah, she
sending
does.
emails. I was doing all pre-production. You do the other production side of
I
it.
can see you have Valerie assisting you because she's screaming in the other
But
room.
Gio's right. There's pre-production, there's production, then there's post, and I do all the pre-production after we do production. So that is what I do, getting ready for the next day. You don't realize it, do you? Ah, there you go. See, Gio, he remains quiet. Is all I can tell you. It's a little hot in here.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
The kids turned my fan off on me, and they blocked it with the banner.
You have a band. You have a fan there. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about online versus really being on platforms. Like everybody assumes that being on the iHeart app is being on iHeart Radio, and I wanted to go over that a little bit because it's not the same thing. Being on
It's
an
not
app
the same
is-
thing, but that's what they want you to think.
Correct. So when they say I'm on the iHeart Radio, I'm on iHeart. They say I'm on iHeart. They leave it there. That doesn't mean that they're on iHeart Radio. They are on an app.
But isn't that part of the iHeartRadio
Well,
system?
yeah,
That's what
iHeartRadio
we're-
is a platform more than it is a company or a brand.
So when you go into an app, it doesn't mean that you're on the radio. You still have to find that website to go
Well,
into.
what is radio anymore?
Well, let me tell you something. It's a billion-dollar business. That's what it is, because it ain't gone away. People still listen to radio.
Sure.
And if you listen to WNN, who happens to be the #1 business radio, they are now branching off and doing more health and wealth. But WNN, with the market doing what it's doing, it's losing its mind. It will probably break 30,000 on the clicker, and people that have money in the market are going to do very well. So what's happening is that in this economy where things are so difficult, holding a job and everything else, people are listening to radio, listening about the news. Now you got the politics, you got police brutality, you have alleged people being shot 7 times as they're running away. You have all of this stuff being covered on radio, because when you turn the TV on, you see the Republican convention, you see the Democrat. And if I wanted to go to the zoo, I would go to Ringling Brothers, or they're not in business anymore, are they?
Wow, you've offended so many people in the past 15 minutes. Gio, how
That
does
was
he do
that was a loaded sentence right there.
Yeah,
The whole paragraph
seriously?
was
You leave me speechless.
loaded.
I mean, come on. Honestly, you see what's going
Ringling
on?
Museum and the Ringling Circus is down here, actually.
No, it's done. They
No.
closed shop about 5 years ago.
No, false.
What are you talking?
There's a giant
Look
circus
up Ringling
tent.
Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus.
The traveling circus, but
Ring-
Ringling is in Sarasota.
Ringling still trains clowns
Yeah.
and such down here.
Oh,
There's
they
like
got a
whole
training
college.
facility?
They got a whole school. They got a whole
Yeah.
museum. Ringling is
Really?
huge. They've
They're
built
still
half
open?
of Sarasota.
No, I heard they
Yeah.
closed.
The actual, I don't think the circus is traveling anymore, but they have still
It doesn't
training
travel.
facilities. Yeah.
But they set up a tent and you can go to the circus.
I didn't know there was a circus. I want to go to circus.
They all,
It's
yeah.
not there right now. Right now it's a COVID testing facility.
You see,
but
this is what I'm talking about. It's a COVID testing.
historically, it's also the summer. So they come, I think, in the fall if COVID isn't around. But they set up this gigantic, comical, big top tent. And they, they have a circus that you can go and see. And all the people that are in the school, because it's a big school, relatively speaking, they're actually working in the tent in the circus.
I actually got to go and do camp there.
Of course he did. She went to
One
this.
day I will show you the pictures. No, I will never show you
Show
those
the pictures.
Oh,
Show
no.
the. I'm gonna call.
Face painting and everything.
I'm
We
gonna
went
call
on a
Chuck.
family vacation. It's not Chuck. It was with my parents when I was a
I'm
little
gonna
kid.
call mom.
When
She
I
get
was
me
a
the
kid,
pictures.
We went on the trampoline and the trapeze and face paint. You can see it says Ringling Brothers right behind you.
In Sarasota.
I guess. When you're little, you don't realize quite where the car takes you. You just get in, you fight, and then you get there.
Gio, she went camping underneath the NASA rocket, the space shuttle, on the cement pad.
That was as an adult.
They were camping underneath it,
That was in
and the
Girl
rocket
Scouts.
full of fuel was above them. So
I doubt
I'm
it
gonna-
was full of fuel. They don't fuel it until right before it launches.
Believe me, when she got there, they fueled it.
But I went to that
No.
camp with my brother and sister. We went with another family, and we went through this camp.
That's ridiculous. I didn't
It's
even know
true,
that
though.
was a real thing.
100% real thing. God,
Vinny.
those pictures.
The circus calleth us.
Here we go.
I think we should. I think we should
There's
get
no,
a
it's not
bus.
open.
When it's open in the fall, we should go.
I'm down.
It's
I'm
probably
down.
not going to be open.
No, because now it's a COVID testing center. That means they're going to have to spray it down. What happens with all these COVID testing centers? Remember when anthrax came out and they shut those buildings down, never to be opened again?
No.
What?
What
No.
building?
When anthrax came through the postal system here in Boca,
No,
over, maybe you didn't live here then.
I didn't. They
Anyway.
have shut
we lived in New
buildings?
York. My dad was so afraid to open the mail, he didn't pay a bill for 3 months.
That's true.
And now we can't wait to get the mail.
No, I don't want the bill. First of all, there was no anthrax in New York.
We
Yeah,
had it
but I
here.
remember you calling, you were on the phone with like the gas company. You were like, I'm not opening this bill. It could have anthrax in it.
That's right. That's what I was. My argument was, why should I pay the bill if I can't open it?
There was one of the places here where it was originally found, and it's off of Military, like near the dog park, somewhere over there.
It's shut
And
down?
I don't know if they ever opened it up again, because people were terrified to go back in, and how do you clean it? And how do you get rid of everything?
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was a thing.
So I'm wondering now, are all these places, I mean, think about all these things that they turned over for field hospitals. Are they reopened? Is the Javits Center, is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Is it reopened? I don't know
Yeah.
if they ever used it as a field hospital.
Jarvis Center was open in Manhattan for the virus. They housed all sorts of people down there.
But did they actually use it for that?
Yeah.
So is it now reopened for a convention center?
Yeah, well, it's open. I don't know if it's going to be. Yes.
So
Yes.
it's interesting, right?
Yes. Do you know in Washington, D.C., there is a building that has been shut down for 15 years when we had the Ebola breakout?
See, so I'm not crazy. Well,
No,
I'm a
and
little
they
crazy,
sealed
but-
that building in lead. There is lead and the military is around it 24/7. They don't know what they're gonna do with that building. Chernobyl. Anybody heard of Chernobyl
Chernobyl, yeah.
in Russia? They don't know what they're gonna do with that building either. That thing is
It's a
still
city.
burning.
Whatever happened with that explosion and what happened to all those pesticides in Beirut? What a mess.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
They want to overthrow the government because of it.
So that's why we have to add some hope, and we should bring a circus. We should bring the circus back to town. You know, my son has never been to the circus.
What do they do with the
neither.
animals when they
You've
shut
never
down
been
the
either?
circus? Yes, he went to the circus. He doesn't remember.
Never been to the circus.
Yeah, he doesn't remember.
My
I took
family
him,
is enough of a circus for me.
I took you to the circus in Manhattan. You just don't remember.
No, you didn't. That was Freddie.
Could have been.
It was
You know,
definitely
isn't that
Freddie because I've
amazing?
never been to a circus.
Our second kids have never been to the circus.
Didn't I take you to Radio City Music Hall in the limo also? Was that you or your brother?
No, it was definitely Freddie.
Wow.
Wow.
You guys are 5 years apart, right?
Yes.
Oh, a lot of things happen in 5 years.
I get it.
My sister saw the limo. It was supposed to be me and Freddie. I know that I took Freddie to see his New York Knicks basketball game. So I took him to Ringley Brothers in a limo. A friend of mine had a limo. And my sister and all her friends jumped into the limo. They weren't invited. And they jumped in. I had to
The
buy
only
tickets.
time I've been in a limo when you hooked it up was when we came back from Puerto Rico. You had the limo take us back to the house.
Yeah, and I also hooked you up for your date.
That was a town car. And yes, that guy was pretty cool.
I hooked him up. I had a car service for him in Tampa, wherever he wanted to
That
go.
guy, the guy that drove me, I'll never forget this because he was so cool. His name was Jimmy.
Yeah.
And he was practicing English. He was straight off the boat from Africa, he said. He'd only been in the country for like 4 weeks.
And he took you everywhere.
Yeah, he was great.
And how did you meet
He was
Jimmy?
awesome.
I know somebody. And I said, make sure my son needs a ride that he's never left behind. And that's what Jimmy was there for. Did you ever use him again?
I didn't have his number. I don't even think you paid him.
No, I didn't pay him.
And there you have it.
Somebody else paid him. But anyway, it was taken care of, right?
You know the amazing thing is every time we introduce Gio, it's how Gio created this when he was 14. That's pretty unbelievable how you create what you did as a kid, Gio. What you do now as an adult.
it was
is
a lot
spectacular.
different. It was a lot different when I was 14.
What
Technology
even
has
gave
come a
you
long
the
way.
idea? How did you even say this is what I'm going to do and you created what you created then?
Honestly, I kind of stole the idea. There was an old television station called Tech TV back when I was super little, and then they became G4, which was
That
like
channel?
it was like a TV channel.
G4.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
that's
a TV
old
channel for gamers. And a lot
Aren't
of the
you a
people when
gamer?
they became who are you talking to?
Teddy's
Me?
a gamer, and Vinny, aren't you a gamer? Vinny's
know
a
it.
gamer, Teddy's a gamer, yes? Are you a gamer? Val, are you a gamer? Mario Kart, that's 1927. But you
No,
were a gamer,
They still
Gio.
make Mario Kart.
You were a gamer.
I was.
because-
So I watched this station, but what happened was when they transitioned from Tech TV, they actually got sold to Comcast NBC. And so they fired a bunch of people that used to host their tech shows, and these people started what's called TWIT,
Yes.
This Week in Tech, and they started producing a live 24/7 channel, and then they produced a bunch of podcasts, or netcasts as they called them. And this is like early before streaming video really caught on. They were mostly doing podcasting, but the video was so you could watch how the show was made, kind of thing. I wanted to take that a step further and actually put it on the radio and package the video part of it, because I always saw the future of I guess radio to be video, honestly, or at least the future of communication and of content to be video. YouTube at the time was exploding. We had a lot of OG YouTubers still in their infancy, but all that whole, like, the way you made money on YouTube really didn't exist. And so it was like getting it on the ground floor. If you could do it right and get enough subscribers, you could probably be a millionaire by now, or at least a theoretical millionaire.
Yeah, but we ran into a lot of challenges because we were on the video side, and to match the video with the radio became the biggest challenge.
But he was 14 to actually have this idea
yeah.
and bring it to fruition is pretty spectacular.
Well, he was a gamer. I remember you used to have people watching you play video games.
I had a lot of people watch me while they fell asleep because I
night.
had a lot of European. I used to stream at like midnight, and so it was like people like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They would always tell me they love watching me stream, and I'm playing like violent video games like Grand Theft Auto, but they love the sound of my voice, and it would always put them to sleep, which it was like a very backhanded compliment.
It's a little soothing.
It's
It is. I
funny.
mean, I even tested it once. One night, I put my own recording up, and I put myself to sleep. So.
You've had a great voice, by the
No, and then he made me play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
says,
I
"Okay,
live
Dad."
streamed that. That was
And
great.
He played it, and I wasn't good at it, you know. And then
Yes, you were.
I saw the violence. So then I said,
My
okay,
dad went into a strip club and shot it up. Absolutely, he was great at it.
that's
How are
true.
you sitting in that chair?
My back hurts, so this feels good. So he takes me, and he tells me, going to the strip club, rob a car, and shooting people and everything.
I actually gave you zero instruction, literally didn't even give you the controls. He figured it out, and he was aiming down sights with his rifle, shooting people down the street.
He's exaggerating. It isn't true.
I'm not,
I
it's
couldn't
on
shoot the
video.
side of
I
a
have
barn.
the footage. I
Gio,
have
I
the footage.
need
There were
that
people
footage.
watching in the stream going, wow, has your dad played this before?
It's
Gio,
not
I
true.
need that video.
He's
He
acting,
stole a taxi and drove through a
he's
park.
acting like Walter Cronkite, all drama. None of that happened, and it wasn't true.
It
Who?
did happen.
I have a
went-
feeling it happened, but you didn't know the game, so you had no idea what was going on.
I had no idea.
You were like, how am I in a car now?
I tried to take the controller from him. He was like, no, I like this. This is good.
That's
I
not
bet
true.
I can
having
No, it's
fun.
not true. It's not true.
Oh, I'm throwing grenades out of the car. What is that?
There were body parts everywhere. And I said, "This is a violent game. I got to stop doing this."
He
Were there
killed all these
flying
people.
body
He's like, you know,
parts?
this game is really violent.
And you run people over. And I said, "Did they really hurt?" And he says, "It's a game, Dad. Don't worry about it. Just keep killing people." And then you're getting points for doing it. It's ridiculous.
There are no points. There's no points.
I don't remember.
Those
what
were
there was.
stars because the police were chasing you.
But the funny thing about all of these video games that he was putting together, when we went to WNN at the time, the AM was going down, spiraling downwards. Real talk was not a big deal anymore. People were talking about music, and they were talking about the big
But he
time
was a
podcasters.
kid. Do you see the unbelievable concept that he was a teenager?
He
to
stopped
actually
being a kid
create-
when he was 4, honey.
To be what he created at
I don't-
14
I
is
don't think that's true.
amazing.
Yeah, right. That's because nobody lived with you. Remember the chemistry set you had in the second floor and the bomb you set off and the smell in the house for a week? And he tells his mother, yeah, Dad gave me the chemistry shit. He rats me out. I said,
But you
listen,
did.
just don't blow up the
Wait till you
house.
see what Joey does.
Yo, you're gonna suffer. Joey's gonna
Joey
be you
destroys
worse
the
than you.
house.
He's gonna
Every
be-
day I have to reset the whole house.
He's gonna be a whole lot worse than you. Remember the time you took the phone apart? You gave it back to me with missing pieces. Yeah, those were extra.
No, I'm pretty sure I fixed it.
And you took
probably did.
you took your TV with you, and I said, "Why are you carrying the television to Uncle Harry's house?" He said, "My cartoons are in it." You remember that?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
It was like an everyday occurrence.
But I
with
want
this
to
guy.
ask.
I feel like sometimes, though, you used me as an excuse to buy a new phone.
Yes, that is true.
Like, oh, Gio took my phone apart. I guess I got to buy a new phone.
now you just get to buy Gio a new phone.
And I get to buy Geo a new phone. Yeah, but I used to
Notice he
use-
never bought me my own phone. He just let me take the phone
You
apart.
kidding? I will never forget the time you called China, and I got a $148 bill. Oh no,
I
you
don't
don't
think
remember
that's
that. You only remember the good Geo. You don't remember the
That was
bad
probably
Geo.
Freddie.
No, it was him. It was him. And what about the time we were in Jones Beach and you were hanging out with the boys, the baseball team, and you were picking up girls for them?
That's true. Yep. I
But
was the
Gio,
chick
let me-
magnet.
I got to ask you now that we're on Amazon and Roku, and we can put other shows that we produce as the production company in post-production on Amazon and Roku. I got a call yesterday. What is the benefit of being on them?
No, not on Dumb. I'm being on Bling first, and then Dumb.
Well, I didn't want to mention another company because that company puts people on those.
Those channels.
Those channels.
They offered 100 channels.
So Amazon and Roku, because we happen to be with the cafe, what's the benefit? What's the drawback? What's the benefit of being on one or both?
The benefit is people can watch you wherever they normally watch their content. So yes, we're on YouTube, but in the case of like Roku or Amazon Fire Stick, there's a dedicated app called the Brooklyn Cafe, and that will have all of your content in one place. And then you get into some of the voice assistant stuff. So someone could literally say to their Alexa, play the Brooklyn Cafe, and it will go boop, 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 and then it'll play the content. It's just making it easier to consume the content that we're producing without them having to jump through a bunch of hoops.
It's another platform.
And what is the
with a lot of
difference
visibility.
between a podcast and a video cast?
Well, I mean, you kind of just said it. A podcast is just audio. A video cast, and there are video podcasts, but they're not as popular. You kind of have to remember the whole concept of podcasts is it's not necessarily streamed. It is actually downloaded to your device. So you can listen to it when you don't have service, as you're jogging, as you're driving. It's more like an audio book than a live feed. So the thing about video is it just takes up a lot of space, and traditionally, back 10, 20 years ago, you didn't have a 256 gigabyte phone. You had a 1 gigabyte phone. So you had precious audio space that you would not want to waste on video. You have things like YouTube, and that works through streaming video. And a lot of people do put their podcast type content that they stream they make a video out of on YouTube, and that's a great way to consume content. But video podcasts, I don't think, honestly, are as common or as popular as audio.
Now, one of the guys in here, I don't know where he is, Slick, actually uses podcasting, his podcast channel, more than anybody else from what I can see. And he's getting some good results on it. I don't know, Teddy, if you're using your podcast channel. You are?
Yeah.
And they're getting some positive results on it because people are actually running in to the production. But then we were asked whether or not being on 100 channels, which I don't think realistically that makes even sense. Are there 100 channels to put a show on? And I'm not talking about sharing it out to Facebook on 120
100 different channels.
pages. I'm talking about channels. Does that even exist?
Like as a platform, you mean?
Yeah.
When you say channels?
Like you got Twitch, you got Stitch, you got, does that even exist?
I mean, there's certainly a lot of platforms out there. It gets to a point where you need to kind of focus on your core demographics and who are you trying to reach, and is there a good experience on that platform for the people that want to consume your show? Because you want to go to where the people are. Platforms like YouTube, like Twitch, even Facebook to some degree. Facebook's getting into the streaming gaming thing. You're trying to go to where people normally are, like Facebook, and make a value proposition to stay on that platform longer to consume your content. And then, in the end game is, of course, to make money.
Well,
either
that's
through
the end
ads
game,
or-
right? The amount of time spent on consuming whatever it is you're putting out there. So it's not only good content, but content placement, I
I tell
guess?
you, the amount of ads that are now on Facebook to find the content, but I can't even go on in the morning and actually find somebody without putting their name in it because I am bombarded by ads.
I know. The moment you look something up, you get bombarded by ads. Don't tell me if Facebook is not watching everything you do.
I don't know if you know this, but every third post you see on Facebook is actually an ad. When you're
That's what I'm
scrolling through your
saying.
feed, every third post is a sponsored post. Same thing
Yep.
with Instagram.
That is exactly it. So to find content, it's crazy. To find what people are doing and to follow and to all of that, it's all.
I will
paid
say though,
sponsorship.
their algorithms are pretty good because I've bought a lot of stuff off of ads recently.
Really?
There's this cool card company called, I won't shout them out, but they make these cool 3D cards, like when you open it, you've probably seen them. There's been some cool gift ideas. There was this adventure book that I got. There's actually been some very good buys that I found on Facebook and Instagram ads. So
I have
I'm not
never
complaining.
bought anything.
I bought some nail supply things during the pandemic.
Nail supply things off of
I never
Facebook
got it.
ads?
still have not gotten the nail wraps that I ordered.
Off of Facebook ads?
Yep.
Have you guys ever bought anything off a Facebook ad?
I have not, but my mother's favorite thing on earth is to send me Facebook ads and go, "Do you want this?" And for me, every time to have to be like, "Don't order it."
Wow,
I've
that's
never
a-
successfully received anything I've ordered from a Facebook ad, so it makes me a little leery to order.
They have some.
Well, I always
ridiculous-
do my
too?
research.
Val says
I
the
always
same
look
thing.
in, go to the website, and go through and make sure that it's like a legitimate company. Because there are a lot of, what's that guy, Ty Lopez type people who try to sell you a Maserati in a garage that he's rented for 2 days, and tell you that if you buy his book, you'll be a millionaire.
Yep.
Exactly.
of
That's
that.
what I'm getting now. I'm getting podcasts. If you guys want to know how to do a podcast, every third ad, as Gio says, there's a free online class on how you can podcast successfully.
Yeah, but
There's a funny story of a woman who wanted a baby, so she took her husband's phone and just kept saying like, babies, diapers, babies. And he started getting ads for baby products. And he was like, maybe it's a sign that we should have a kid.
That's hilarious.
what a
Yeah.
spin that is.
It's a huge thing. You go on your phone, you're like, ways to sleep, how to eat vegetables. Like parents do videos doing it to their kids. Yeah. Your phone always
Wow.
listens to you.
I don't think I don't think I trust a Facebook ad to buy something.
Well, I have not been successful in receiving the merchandise.
that's
Neither
why.
has Val, she said.
And when I buy something on Amazon, this guy makes me read 127 reviews.
Yeah,
And
because
then
you
we
have to be
should.
careful. You have to be careful who is selling that product because anyone can sell anything on Amazon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I've had cases where people have bought $4,000 cameras and they received a box of bricks.
Wow.
That's why I wouldn't buy a camera on Amazon.
There are
We
certain
have-
things that we go to our other suppliers for because
No, these didn't come from Amazon.
True.
They came from other suppliers.
True.
But you got to be careful because some of the wiring is inferior. I bought a brand new wire and it went belly up a week later.
that is the biggest thing is product quality. As a lot of times they lie in their literature about the gauge of a cable or the shielding of a cable. So you always want to buy from reputable brands and make sure it's either shipped and sold from Amazon or the company that actually makes it directly on Amazon. Or sometimes I'll just go to a different vendor.
It's funny.
Or buy direct.
Remember the time you, me, in Connecticut went to do the Pinozzo thing,
He's so smart. We're like,
and she pulled the wire and broke the wire on the camera. So we didn't have a camera. We had to rig it. We used another camera to do it and everything. It was the craziest time. Or when you went and the wire stayed behind and the guys went out and bought that duplex wire
Yep.
extender. I mean, stuff
you were
happens.
mad. I think about all these gigs I've gone on and things I've done, and you haven't been around. You've gotten mad, and now you're like, "Oh, do you remember that time? It was
No,
really good
I
that
got
we had
mad
that?"
because we didn't pack it correctly.
You weren't there.
But that's irrelevant. I
Well,
wasn't
no,
there. They
yeah.
should- What about
That was
the,
part of the relevancy.
the first time that we did a stream in Puerto Rico, the Conquistador Hotel, and we had to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning to go to Radio Shack to buy the wire. Remember?
Yeah, we had to get we didn't even get the right wire, but we ended up with something that kind of worked.
And we did it with WBLT 95.5, whatever the radio station was, and we did it from the Conquistador Hotel. My mother and father were with us,
Yeah.
and it
That
was,
was the first time we
first
had the
time.
encoder.
Yeah, and
We
it
flew
worked.
with this computer. We didn't test anything. We were flying by the seat of our pants. We didn't even know if we had internet when we showed up, and we were outside on the
We
edge of
didn't.
a cliff.
We didn't.
Wow.
We did it on Wi-Fi. But what a hotel!
It was a
Now
beautiful
our
hotel. It was
encoder's
a
up
great
there in the
trip as well.
Smithsonian.
Now the encoder's up there in parts.
In the Smithsonian, you know when you go to you watch Star Wars and they go to all the junkyard and all the parts and the pieces are there. That's like the Smithsonian up there.
No, I'm bringing that back to life. Don't be Smithsonian nothing. That encoder is going to be
It
redone.
means Gio's bringing it back to life.
Yeah, but he built the other machine, and we're going to be doing that. And then I wanted to touch real quick on the PPV that we're running the PPV without even knowing.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually running on the third channel. We've been doing it for 2 weeks because I want to start using that for companies to do concerts and different things on it. The only thing I have to come up with is the delivery system for it.
The delivery system?
In other words, if you wanted to raise money and you're going to have 6 bands play music, and I want to put it on that platform, how do people watch it?
They go to the site and they buy a ticket.
Well, then what site? Can I put it on multiple sites? Does it have to be one site? Can it be, it can't be the social media sites.
No, well, you can do the social media, but you have to all link to the events site. That is the page.
So you have to put the link. to the site, I
Events.amp2.tv.
guess.
Well, we have to put it somewhere, but we have to come up with a clever way of doing that. Now, I know that certain places, they have bands playing on stage, and they're asking them to play only their music. They can't play cover songs or anything like that. And then you have to have an appetite for that kind of music, which is kind of, scratching the chalkboard a little bit.
No, you find our demographic is the music that we have. Well, we've got two. We got Steve-O. He's one demographic unto himself. And then you've got J.C. Dreesen, and you've got everyone else who sings, a different demographic. Don't think I would put them
Well,
together.
DJs playing like Steve does. I was watching that for a while. He had over 4,000 hits on that thing.
Yeah.
But they were playing different music, and he was doing it with another guy, and they were spinning off each other, which was kind of unique with a lot of lights and what have you. But that's like house music, that's like going to a disco or something. That's a different demographic.
Going to a disco.
The music guys like JC and even Mia now, all of a sudden, all these people, Kendra, that's a different performance.
Actually, speaking of Kendra, she's going to be starting a podcast with us this weekend, right, Teddy?
Yes, she's going to be coming on Saturday to record her first episode.
Has anybody confirmed that?
I'm going to confirm it on Thursday.
Good, because
Yeah,
I think she's in
told Teddy to wait until the
California.
end of the week because asking her Monday or Tuesday doesn't really
Yeah,
make
I
a
don't think she's
difference.
even in town. I saw something on her. We'll see.
We'll see how that happens. What's her podcast about, you know?
I don't know. We haven't gotten to talk about it a lot. I do really like the name. I could get it for you right now. I was talking to her about that. And I think she just wants it to be her life and growing up and, who she really is versus, you have to put on something for
persona.
the media.
That's when the podcasts become interesting, when you have a little something going on.
Oh, you don't even know what happened yesterday when you left. You always
Oh.
leave here in the important parts of the day. Like today, you got to go also.
When did I leave?
It's The Key to KE with Kendra Erica. That's what she's
K.E.?
called it. The Key to KE.
What's KE?
Kendra Erica.
Kendra Erica.
Oh. The key to KE. Okay.
Teddy has a new show she's producing. She had that phone call yesterday afternoon when you stepped out for a little bit.
Oh, I don't know about it?
And that has been confirmed. Do you know about the confirmation of it?
I don't know. Tell me.
I know.
Tell me what happened.
Teddy's going to.
Yeah, so with Keisha Graves, she's going to do a show and we're going to help produce it called Girls Chronically Rock. It's the same name as her company that she started when she was diagnosed in her junior year of grad school with muscular dystrophy. And she wants to promote, especially being a black woman and being a disabled black woman, she puts out this company to kind of lift everyone up, and she wants to do a podcast because her situation is something that not a lot of people know about, that you can be diagnosed so late in life. And she said that, she finally, after a long time, found support groups, and you can't understand something unless you're going through something similar. So she wants to get it more publicized that, this isn't some rare occurrence. This happens to hundreds of thousands of people.
And you got a slot and everything all set up for her? You got to do
Yes,
the
we
opens
do.
and all that? You
It
gotta
is
work on
going
that.
to be, we are recording next Monday for the first time, and it will be going out on Friday at 12 p.m.
You're going to do a record show?
Yes, because when you have a disability like muscular dystrophy, you don't always, she was telling me about this, you don't always know how your body is going to be feeling. So
Okay.
we didn't want to do it live yet, because if she wakes up one day
Okay.
and it's a really bad day, I wouldn't feel right trying to be like, well, you have to do the show. So recording wise, we have a little bit more flexibility so we can adapt to whatever she needs.
She has the elements?
I'm going to be making them this week. I'm working on them. She just sent me all the pictures.
You're a dime short, baby.
Wow.
I knew, because I knew all
Did you
about
know
it.
all those details?
Of course.
You just asked her a question.
I left her in there. This is okay. Teddy and you just put it
He
together.
goes, hi, I'm Freddie. I'm really excited to do the show. Teddy, take it away. And then he left.
Yeah, I know. I was.
But I knew it was already a done deal. I listened to Teddy interview her. And I listened to a whole half hour. I was like, wow. And I saw what she went through, and she was in denial, right? That was the
Yeah,
biggest
she
part.
said that for years and years she, would tell people, she had to walk with a cane, and she would lie and say she was in a car accident or she sprained her ankle because saying the words muscular dystrophy made it too real for her. And when she finally accepted it, that's when she was able to really bust out and do everything she needs to do. And it's
it was
amazing.
a problem in the parking lot, I think, or she couldn't stand or she couldn't walk.
Yeah, when she found out about it, she said her legs, when she was in school, she went to school for fashion, and her legs would kind of give out once in a while, but she ignored it. And then finally, she was in a grocery store parking lot with her mom and her sister, and she collapsed, and someone else had to help them get her up because she couldn't use her legs at all. And she eventually had to go to one doctor and then another doctor and a neurologist, and they finally said, you have muscular dystrophy.
And she said, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And you don't think I listen. I listen to everything.
You got that, Gio?
He knows. I listen to him too.
If he says, huh, I'm going to laugh.
No. My dad listens to every third word.
No, that's your definition. I want you to think it.
Pretty much true.
Or
I even
he'll
listen
listen to
to-
what you're saying, but then he's going to have his own interpretation of what you said.
Well, that's true
Yes,
about
That
everybody.
is so
Yeah.
true.
Everybody
right?
does that. Taylor, everybody
You do it
does
more
that.
than
No.
anybody.
No, I
Because
don't
you have
do
to
more than
speak
him.
it in his terms.
No, because sometimes, like the video you sent, both of them, it comes from planet Pluto.
I
Now,
I
I'm
have
not
a
the only
bunch of
one.
notes that I have to take.
Yeah, well, I showed
That
it to
of
everybody
his
in here.
vernacular.
Everybody ran out of here like their hair was on fire. Because they didn't understand 3/4 of what the hell you're talking
Teddy
about.
understood.
Yeah,
Teddy
I
understood.
thought it was pretty understandable.
Yeah,
watch
right.
it?
Clear cut.
Yeah, right. Then Teddy will be explaining it to everybody
Taylor, you
because
know
she
how
I'll
to
do
do
understands.
a
audio?
PowerPoint presentation.
You know how to do audio?
Yes.
No.
I'm going to show Taylor.
Trust me, when you hear these two videos, you won't know how to do audio
But
last.
here's the other thing. Gio, everything we've done for so long has been live. And your dad is a big proponent of live. But now, as we do more in production, there are more things we're doing, like Teddy's show that she's producing, the kids' show that we're doing. They're recorded.
Okay, now let's back up the truck. These are two children's ages 8 and 10. I originally wanted to do this live. You see, the problem is that my definition of streaming is like an Egg McMuffin
It's a
with
what?
all the nooks and crannies.
An Ed or an egg?
Egg
There's a
McMuffin.
Freddyism.
An Ed McMuffin. It's
Yes.
like Ed McMahon. But
You
it's
think you know where he's going with it, and then he just says something like, "It's an egg McMuffin." And you're like,
Yes, because
Okay,
it
now we're having
has
breakfast.
it has pitfalls. It has good stuff, bad stuff.
But
It
people don't
has
want pitfalls anymore.
yeah. But the bottom line is when you stream, streaming is streaming. If you want NBC production, you want a perfect production, you gotta tape it.
well, working with children is hard. Traditionally on television, they never actually anything with a child, especially because when you actually film with children, you only have a very strict amount of time, and then they have to go.
Yeah.
So a lot of that stuff is pre-recorded and not done live. It might
I'm gonna tell you something.
streamed live, but it's not on the air live.
I'm gonna tell you something. I pumped up the volume because I did the last recording.
We got
for
one
them.
today also.
I did the last record, and those girls were flying. In 2 takes, we got a half-hour show, right? I didn't even have to edit it. It was perfect, on point. It is about delivery. Now, if I could tell that they're getting tired, I shut it down. I go to the next day. I don't believe in doing kids all in one day. I don't. But again, I get outranked in this place. I would start Monday, Wednesday, Friday of last week for production this week with children. Now, they have come a long way. These kids are above the rim. So I said to them, okay, now I need you to be ambassadors for the Kids Television Network. So they did a spot-on promotion,
I want to get that, put that
which
out.
I have on my computer. I watch it every morning.
Could you share it, please?
Yes, but I have it, and
Put
I've
it
been
out?
yes, but it needs to open on it.
Okay.
And I believe that if you do things live, which is the hardest thing to do in our business, and you know that. Sound is your enemy, we all know that. Lighting is not your best friend, we all know that. But if you can pull it off live, man, taping is easy. The perfect storm is easy to create. Where's the challenge? I get bored doing taping.
Where
are your live
video effects and audio effects?
Well, we haven't, I asked for that too, it's still in conference.
Teddy has that, I think.
No, probably not that one. I have a cheapy free online one.
Now, what I would like to no, okay, cut it out. What I would like to do is I would like to get that box, that gizmo. We have a
Yeah.
little speaker here. We got a computer, and back there, I would like to put the online radio station. And this is some of the things that the kids are going to learn how to be DJs, how to do commercials on the air. I am a proponent of putting live spots, live reads, which we're doing now.
Why do we need a voice changer for that, though?
Because with the voice changer, even WNN has learned that you captivate people. Gio, do a voice thing, like I said before.
Gio, do a voice thing like I said before.
When you start doing that and you put WNN and things, people listen. Because it's so
WWN 1470.
like that. And people listen to that because it's so
Is
ridiculous.
that cool, Vinny?
God.
Vinny's like, that's really cool.
Right? All pun intended. It's like that would be
Play a game.
that would be you, the voice changer. So Callaway is a guy that I wanted to bring in to use it as well. I want some of the girls. I can imagine what a girl sounds like on that machine. Talk like a girl, Gio.
Funny you should say that.
He's hilarious.
I happen to have a man to woman. It's not very good.
See what I got?
Oh my gosh.
He's hilarious.
It's funny, but it captures the attention. The animator can be using this with the Kids Television Network. You do a whole show with that voice.
Hilarious.
Isn't that okay? Didn't they use this on the longest running show in the history of television, which is the cartoon,
The Simpsons?
The Simpsons?
I don't know.
Yeah, they use a volume
No.
modulator on there.
No, I do have sound effects that I could play for you.
Sound effects.
I need an appropriate sound effect.
Yeah,
though.
pull my finger. I know what you're gonna play.
No, I don't have one of those. I've got this one though.
Can you imagine we're doing a show and he plays that thing? So there's somebody at the door done.
I love that you have this whole setup in your house. It's unbelievable.
I mean, it's a couple buttons and some fancy software.
That's awesome. Gio, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad you are hanging out with us this morning. Put kind of a perspective
I gotta go
on
back
what
to
we're
work.
doing. You get back to work. We're going
My
to get back
condolences.
to work. Go to production. You got a meeting to go to at
Yes.
10:30.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Gio, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Feel better, honey.
Thanks, you man.
All right, we're ready to rock and roll. We got Slick Speaks coming up in about a minute. We got Fuego later today, and then we've got Wayne from Dignity Memorial joining us. We have Allison Perlman joining us with Amy Rashevsky today, The Art of Amy Rashevsky at 2:30.
And that
Kids
show is
and
getting a
Pigs.
lot of noise. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm looking forward to that show today at 1:30.
That would be called pre-production.
It's getting a lot of noise, and I want to see what the noise
It's
is
getting
all
a lot
about.
of attention, is all I
Yeah.
can tell you. Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, good.
All right, Taylor, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Vinny, maybe you can help mentor Taylor and show her whatever you got cooking.
Maybe she
Sure.
can help put together some Adobe stuff.
No, that could work.
You know what I'm talking about. Maybe push along some of the beautiful pictures you take. Yes.
All right, everyone, have a great morning. Be safe. We'll see you in a little bit.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. like ball. The words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors.